along with Dr. Zhang, with our speaker, Stephen Taylor, for about 4 hours yesterday. And I usually don't have an opportunity to spend that much time with the speaker because they get tired and worn. And yet we engaged in amazing, amazing talks about the state and the condition of the church, and the vision and strategy for church and mission, and so forth. The topic that our speaker will be addressing is the topic known as missional hermeneutics. And both of these themes are heavyweight themes, if you think about it. I'm a little bit familiar with the concept of missional, but how he's going to join that together with the concept of hermeneutics, and I was curious to know. At best, in missiology, we talk about contextualization, but rarely we use the word hermeneutics unless you go really deep into, the biblical studies and so forth, and relate that to missions. But my understanding of the missionary church is that at the end of the 20th century, there was a movement, a real popular movement that started, that focused upon the state and the condition of the church in North America. There was a very famous book titled Missionary Church by Darrell Gooder. It's for those of you who are researching in this area. And basically, what these authors, these scholars and strategists were proposing is that we have to change our way of thinking. A major paradigm shift from thinking that we have to send professional or specialized missionaries, and oftentimes overseas, and doing so-called cross-cultural missions. We look at our own backyard, our neighborhoods, and we see that's the mission field as well. And so the focus is not so much, God sending missionaries out there, but actually using the whole church becoming missionary agency of God. And what does that look like? And that's my understanding of the concept of missionary church. But today we have a specialist in this area. He's the Old Testament, he's an Old Testament, I'm sorry. Well, I better get this right. He's New Testament scholar. I was thinking about Christopher Wright. He's another person who's an Old Testament scholar, focusing on missionary church. And I am not going to formally introduce him to you because I want to ask Dr. Chung to come forward and formally introduce Dr. Stephen Taylor to us. So as our speaker is about to come forward, let's just first of all greet our introducer and the speaker.
Good afternoon. It's my honor and joy to introduce Professor Stephen Taylor, Associate Professor of the New Testament at Missional Theological Seminary, the former Biblical Theological Seminary, where Professor Lee Hanya graduated from. As Professor Kim introduced, I was his student. Yes, Professor Taylor used to be my advisor, academic advisor and mentor for 7 years when I studied at Westminster Theological Seminary. And he moved to Biblical Seminary at the 8th year of my study. And very graciously, even after he moved out, he moved into Biblical Seminary, he kept advising my dissertation so that I may finish my dissertation. I want to describe him as one of the very few scholars I saw who has very clear mind about Paul, and especially the relationship between Old and New Testament. My hermeneutics, my way of interpreting Scripture, and also my attitude toward students were influenced by, more than anybody else, by Professor Stephen Taylor. So it's really my joy and my honor to introduce Professor Taylor to you. So please welcome Professor Taylor.